friends, old and new, and welcome to another episode of Ukulele Riffs Simplified. Today's episode is episode number 6, and I'm super excited about it because we're covering one of my favorite rock and roll riffs, The Trooper by Iron Maiden. Now obviously on the ukulele we lose the power of the 5th and the 6th strings, playing them in distortion pedals, but we can still go through the joy of rocking out to this riff on the little instrument and use it as an exercise for right hand, left hand development. For this one, the left hand fingerings are super simple, but you still gotta watch out for your position shifts and your pull-offs, but the real challenge is the coordination of your right hand finger alternation. All fingerings are indicated in the PDF available on my Patreon, so make sure to check it out to get your lesson sheet, and your support is greatly appreciated. And in case you're new to the channel, my name is Mustafa and this is MK Fingerstyle Academy, where all the cool ukulele fingerstyle content is happening right here, right now. Let's get into it. So the Trooper has 4 small little sections to it. You start with your first finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and for the left hand fingerings, you're going to use your 4th finger to play the 5th fret, and then you're going to pull off to the 3rd fret. And you're going to use your 2nd finger to play the 4th fret on the 3rd string. And I use my 4th finger on the 5th fret to make sure my left hand is square as I teach it in Ukulele Fingerstyle Basics course. If you use your 3rd finger, it's totally fine, but you will end up in a stretch here in your nerve and you might lose control as you make the position shift. It's a good habit to develop your 4th finger to maintain square posture, especially if you're interested in fingerstyle pieces. So once you do that move, the 5th fret, pull off to the 3rd, and your 2nd finger plays the 4th fret, you're going to repeat the same exact move, but 2 frets down. So that's 4th finger on the 3rd fret, pull off to the 1st fret, and then you're going to use your 2nd finger to play the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Notice how it's exactly the same move. And now you're going to repeat the same move musically, but for the left hand it's going to look different. You're going to play the 1st fret, pull off to the open, and now you're going to play the open C. And to wrap it up, you're gonna go and do a partial bar on the 3rd frets. And then you can play the 5th fret with your 4th finger. When you play that 5th fret with the 4th finger, that's when you let go of the partial bar to repeat the riff. So again, that's 3rd fret, partial bar to get the 3rd fret back to the 2nd string. And then you use your 4th finger to hit the 5th fret. And that's when you let go of the partial bar. The timing is very important, that you let go either when or after you play the 5th fret. This way you don't cut the 3rd frets by accident. The challenge for the left hand then becomes when you connect the position shifts. Now you gotta move this hand down 2 frets without sliding by accident. The way you do that is when you hit the 3rd and the 4th fret, you visualize your 4th finger landing on the 3rd fret, and remember, it's exactly the same left hand shape. My 4th finger didn't flick out, it's still exactly where it needs to be. I'm just gonna move my arm down 2 frets, and my 4th finger is already on that 3rd fret. That's what we call position shifts, as I teach it again in the Ukulele Fingerstyle Basics course. So your challenge is to practice without any noise. Once you get the left hand fingerings out of the way, it is time to work on your right hand fingerings. You're going to start with your middle finger, then index, then middle, then index on the 3rd string. So it's really just M-I-M-I. Middle, index, middle, index. You just have to coordinate that pull off without creating any noises. And you repeat the same fingerings for the 2nd shape, same fingerings for the 3rd shape, and now here you're gonna go index, middle, index, middle. Watch out that when you repeat it the 2nd time, you start on your index because the 1st beat is tied to the last beat of the previous bar, which means when you play the 2nd beat, you play it with your index. But that's not really a problem because the last beat in the previous repetition was with your middle finger, and the 1st beat is supposed to be with the middle finger. So you're just using your middle finger earlier, and you just have to remember to wait for that tight note and just continue the riff with your index. And when you put them together, once you can do it at that speed, and once you can do it at that speed, and you do it 4 times. With that in mind, we've just taken a simple riff, sped it up, and used it as an exercise to develop interesting right-hand fingerings and work on our position shifts as well as pull-offs. And this is why I love these riffs and this series, because it gives us an excuse to use snippets of music we love and turn them into fun, engaging exercises to develop our technique while we work on full songs. If you've enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe to not miss a single beat. See you in the next video.